brothers and sisters, generals, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and I thank you. And may that great divine come in all of our lives and protect us, man, from ourselves, protection for ourselves, from ourselves. I like to do that from time to time, got to put that protection out there. Speak things into existence. Have to be confident in that divine, and how do we know? Where did that confidence come from? From the things we have pushed through to get us to the position that we are in. When I say push, I mean righteously. I like that little saying, we don't push, but we don't give up. But sometimes in life, we do have to kind of push. And when we become aware and have that heightened awareness, we'll know where to push and when not to. You just learn that balance, and that could be brother or sister, younger or older, family members. So be thankful if you have conquered one's mind, body, and soul, because you can breathe and you're ready. You definitely become a general when you can. That's why I say general a lot. We get to that status in our life, and this can be awareness. And I'm talking about a state of mind. It could be awareness or age. I always got to put emphasis on that, because you can be a young brother or young sister on fire for life and, and enjoy things. We don't have to be deep and serious all the time, but we always keep that knowledge and those righteous weapons in our righteous memory bank. And it's a way of life, not just a word. It's just things come to us when we're seeking, just great things and just doing what we're supposed to do overall. Things just come to you sometimes like that, but you have to be in a righteous space. If you're carrying this dark cloud, then that's what your life will carry. And those who are trying to live good, whether just a working class brother or sister, or you might have some that might have money, but still got good energy, as I spoke on. So salute to those who may come into a little wealth and come into, and fortunate to have things, but still humble and able to maintain. I salute you, because it can be challenging, coming into money, especially if you're not used to having it, and you're still able to be disciplined well into up in age, and your family is benefiting from it. I salute you, because it can be challenging. Stay at it. But if we do get to a place where we have a lot of finances, or just where we're living comfortable, always keep that, not paranoid, but just keep that eye, just stay sharp, so we can maintain. So with our generations to come, that's how we got to think. We got to think generation wise. If that's I know that if that make any sense, just that's how I think, because I get that inspiration from my Aunt Vera. I always speak on, just that impresses me, when one does that. That's a really noble thing, to leave something for our family, whether it's a legacy, it's money, or just good positive word, or good memories. It's just wonderful. Finances is just, I don't want to make that like it's everything, but it's, we're in this world, in this so-called matrix. You have to have finances. So it is like the most wonderful thing in the world when a brother or a sister leaves something behind for their family, because I always like to use that quote from Mike Epps. It's nothing we can do with money anyway. It's really nothing you can do with it. We're only saving it up, stacking it up just to give it to someone else. So we might as well make sure it's valuable, because at the end of the day, folks, what is it going to be like when we transition? This is something I hear a brother speak on. Do we want to come to an abrupt end, or we want those to know that we tried our best to be the best of ourselves, brother or sister, family member. Go for that goal. Let's have a most graceful transition as we possibly can. No one can control destiny, but we can set things in motion and set goals. At least try to have a good heart. Because that's where everything begins, with a righteous thought, and everything else will follow. Because what is something I like to say, folks? The body always follows the mind. And how do we come up with these things? A lot of our reachers and teachers and family members that are wise, how do you think we come up with these things? Experience, mostly experiences, some education too. I always say everything is needed under that great divine. It just depends on the mindset and what we do with our education, experiences, whether it's scientific, book knowledge. We can use all of it, but don't let it again, I say from time to time, let it get to a state where we think we know everything. Always stay a student. of human nature and or the universe. We'll come into a lot and we'll learn so much. It's all up to the individual. Always got to throw in there, unless it's a medical condition or something where they're not able. But we talking about an able human being, an able body, mind, body, and soul, brother or sister. If nothing really wrong with you, and you pretty much got most of your senses, come on now. But you just have to, and again, I know sometimes I come a little aggressive on certain issues and stuff, but you have to get a little tough love sometimes too, because a lot of it stems from love. When you hear a lot of brothers and sisters, if you hear some be aggressive, it stems from love, brothers and sisters, and especially when we know others have potential and we can just see things over the horizon. We want others to see the same. So don't ever get offended by someone we know that's real from the heart. And that's brother or sister, young or older, in the world or online, in our families. Remember, if we know they got a good heart, it's coming from love. Just deep, search inside and see what we can do to become better. Because always be the solution, never the problem. Real talk, because it's not going to help anyway. Just adding fuel to the fire. So try our best to make sure we are right before we point a finger, blame, or judge. Just the overall general thing, not a particular person, because everyone has to go through a filtering process. Me, speakers, all of us. Again, that's why we got so many strong reachers and teachers out here. They weren't afraid to go against the wind and, so to speak, and reach inside and they tapped into their greater self. And it becomes addictive when you see results of being positive. Real talk. You got to make it a habit and make it where it's seventh nature, where we're not pushing. We're just doing it effortlessly, as I hear a lot of us great teachers say. Salute. And I done got so deep, I got away from the title. And this is H.I.L. Part 2. I did another podcast like this where I had to, and this on our banner here is H.I.L, which stands for healing, inspire, and then lead. And this is part 2. Because I wanted to get into a little deeper in the mind. And, I'm learning too now. I'm still a student also. I have battles just like everybody else. But doing things like this, things I've read and things I've heard other teachers say and just little quotes I see, you have to do things like this, speak and get it out of us. Ask ourselves questions and, it just keeps ourselves afloat and aware of things so we can be sharp. And it's brother or sister, younger or older, family member. But H.I.L, heal, inspire, lead, wherever we are, right where we are, whether we're in a big space, small space, wherever we're in we got a chance to be an influence in a child's life, a family member, anyone around us, when we can, because we're in this human body. I'll test, I have my emotions go up and down, but it takes practice. You get better at it, because at work, it can be challenging to regulate one's emotions. So you just be honest with yourself. You be honest with others. That's it. Still in this human body, we can have hero-like abilities, but we still have reality. We don't want to, I don't want to come off like you become this invincible person. No, we're still in this human body, but that's why we become a student of human nature. So we can regulate different emotions that come in our body, because we're going to get them, but we get better over time. Because the best thing one can do for oneself is, many of us say, just be honest, and others will respect you. And that respect will go out to that universe and come right back. Because a great divine knows our heart and Mother Nature better and more than anything or anyone else in this world. So just have a right heart. It'll be all right. But like I said, H.I.L, that's what that stands for. That's why the last one I put the whole title, but I just wanted to put H.I.L. And it stands for healing, inspire, and then lead. And be on fire. Again, right where we are, work our way out, don't always look at things before us, beyond our control, look, if it's something toxic that's before us, don't focus anything that'll draw us away from being that divine self. Don't pay attention to that. Negative energy, depending on what it is, it could be small, it could be subtle or aggressive. You just have to be careful. That's why we stick to doing right things. It's more than just saying it. So we'll be in a good space and won't get caught off guard and able to handle things, our emotions, and won't jump off impulses and do some will what regret, because we don't need regret in our vocabulary, stress, worry, none of that. We is always a way if we're in that righteous space. So HIL, heal, inspire, and then begin to lead. But I want to talk about when the gears mesh together, and I'm talking about the gears of life, our mind, and in some of these inspirations, these concepts I come up with, some on my own, and some are downloads, and some I inspired by other teachers. I always want to reiterate that there's a lot of great. I love listening to speakers. That's how we learn. Those who are the most intelligent, and this could be in any area, are those who listen, mind, body, and soul. So I listen to speakers too. So I love to get encouragement. It just keeps me fired up and make me want to, man, be even more stronger. Remember, folks, I say this from time to time. No one's better, just different. We got to keep that in mind. Stop comparing and looking at each other. It's so much more we are doing and can do. Trust me. So, but again, a lot of us see this. So just keep healing. Understand one another, where we've been, where we are. What we're doing. Those who don't want to understand, well, you're gonna have to. I don't know. You're gonna be stuck in that hamster on the wheel thing. So. But those who do understand, we're on fire and we're standing firm. So it all begins with the what? The psyche. And once we got our psyche in control, and man, all pistons firing, the gears will begin to mesh. And we'll see things spiritually. We don't always have to be, it's good to connect with family, children, brothers and sisters, because we have to have that human contact. We have to. Because, I thirst for it. So, I don't take hugs for granted anymore. I don't take smiles for granted, and telling jokes and seeing people in person. I don't take things like that for granted anymore. So that's very important for the psyche. It really is. You have to have human contact. If you don't have human contact, sometimes you'll freaking go crazy. I'm serious. The psyche is nothing to play with. It connects to, it's the modem. It's the center of the whole body, So, and that's when the gears are truly meshing together. Again, when I say gears, I'm talking about everything in our body. We're doing what we're supposed to do as far as our physical and our income and our families. And, if we got a significant other, and we try our best. Sometimes things don't work out. I see things in the media, and certain individuals just got a divorce. And I think it's a couple of marriages I've seen in the media where they're getting a divorce. Things just don't work out. Sometimes we see things we don't understand, but great divine always understand. We might not know at that moment, but we will later on. Many melanated brothers and sisters have experienced this. So, of course, it's okay to speak on things and not wonder, but, speculate and stuff. But great divine will show us in the end why certain things, sometimes it just don't work out. But I'll say my advice, I've been married once, and it wasn't really a bad divorce. So, and I'm not an expert in this area, so I don't want to say too much, but I'll just giving one's perspective. I say in a breakup, don't be bitter. It's just make it worse. Make it as simple as possible. If you can, kind of do a little reflection to see where you went wrong, but it has to be both parties. It can't be one party working on what happened and trying to better the situation, and one party don't. So that's what I'm saying. Somebody has to have some sense, and keep it simple. And if it's not no getting back together, none of that, just keep it moving, especially if you got children. You can't get lost in, who did this and who did that. And no, just get away from it. Make the situation as easy and clean as possible. Be adult, especially if you're up in age, and you gotta think what's beyond, what we do righteous in the present will benefit us. I say this 1,000 times in the future. So that's my advice, so to anyone that had a breakup or a divorce, make it as simple as possible. Think about the future, so don't be bitter and don't carry that bitterness, especially if you're up in age. That's a wear and tear on your immune system, that inside of your body. I'm telling you, stress is nothing to play with. You better take it serious. So that's my advice. Again, not an expert, I'm all about keeping it simple, but not dumb or naive. I'm just saying, just keep things simple. So, because it's good for whatever keep our mental healthy and our physical healthy. So that's why I gave that advice. All right. Moving on. Again, heal, inspire, and begin to lead. But it all starts with self. And I wanted to give a little analogy or example of what's on my banner here. And I had this on my banner before. This is our spirit, brother or sister, younger or older, family member, running on this wheel here. And the spirit is running these gears. Now, if that spirit stop, all the gears will stop. But they won't all stop at once, right? One will stop, but the rest will still be running. But eventually, the other ones will begin to stop. And that's what it's like when we stop caring about ourselves. When we stop loving ourselves. When we give ourselves over to that daunting side. No, we all like, again, when we see speakers and those, and not just online, I'm talking about just in general, and we see someone that's confident, whether brother or sister, we always got to keep in mind, we don't know what they went through to get to that foundation that they're in. And that was kind of a lesson for me. We have to step back and analyze and stop judging and say, well, he think he all that, or she think. No, we never know what a brother or sister have went. I've heard stories, real talking, and I've got some of my own. But some I've heard is worse than mine, real talking. I mean, again, I reiterate, I bring this up sometimes. Some of us should be in a damn crazy house, the shit we've been through. So again, that's why we have to take the time to understand ourselves, and understand what others may have been through or going through, to maintain their position or to get to a position they're in, righteous position. So, and that's good for the psyche too, just understanding. So kind of got away from the analogy, but that's what I kind of meant to speak on that the last one I did like this. That's kind of why I did a part 2. And but yes, this is what it's like. Our spirit, and I always say that great divine loves us when we don't deserve it. So this is what it's like too. That great divine is always running them gears, no matter. And just, if we got a good heart, that divine force is always there. I mean, that's just something I've always experienced. When I'm usually doing right, the gears usually mesh together, But we know when something is not right in us. We do. Everyone, especially melanated brothers and sisters, we have that magnetism, divine spirit within us. We just gotta, and we all feel it, but we have to take the time to invest in it. Again, synchronicities, signs, dreams. Look up your dreams. I tell everybody, look your dreams up. You can learn so much about that spiritual realm, that a lot of that part of our brain that just dormant, that we don't tap into. And dreams, I think, is a way of tapping into that really deep, I'm talking about the righteous spiritual now, that the righteous spiritual side of us that, working can draw us away from an everyday hustle and bustle, as we talk about, of the world. But the divine, and even Mother Nature sometimes, because I used to have a lot of dreams about lakes and massive amounts of water. That's a part of nature. But the divine has a way of catching us when we're away from things, and it'll catch us, that spirit will catch us in our dreams. That's when you pay attention, because you can almost prevent things from happening. I'm telling you, that's where our psychic abilities, melanated brothers and sisters, that's where most of it stems from, the dreams. How many of us had deja vu? Those are signs. I said that on the podcast, but I couldn't remember the phrase. I used to have a lot of those deja vus. And when you have those, pay attention to them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think deja vu connects to our dreams also. That's why we look up our dreams. I'm telling you that, and that's also tied into the art. That's where anticipation comes from. Our dreams, deja vu. But you don't come into these things when you're a toxic person, when you're a selfish narcissist. Well, all you care about is what you want. And especially if you've done something and you've done something, but you don't want to deal with it, you're still blaming things on the outside. Well, you're going to be stuck in that woulda, coulda, shoulda if you don't come out of it for the rest of your life. So, if you can, if you're able, if you're able human being, I'm not talking about those who are not able or a medical condition or something like that. We're talking about able human being, brother or sister, So don't take the chance. I'm fumbling. Don't take when you have the time to heal, don't take it for granted. We all get that in our body. We know when we ain't doing right, or whether it's hurting ourselves or hurting something else, person, place, thing. We know when we know, melanated brothers and sisters. So just keep healing. And if you have done something wrong, I ain't talking about something like, if you've done something really bad, toxic, or cause someone demise. That's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about if you just done something, cause a breakup or just something, just an overall general thing, but not nothing really, too bad, but it makes you feel some kind of way. You have to deal with it. You got to see what you can do to be better. Don't always look at something else. Sometimes it might be us. I go through battles too. And you have to stay focused to maintain, to stay straight. So again, back to the analogy. That's what this is. That's why I came up with this. As we all do as melanated brothers and sisters. Again, like I said, the concept of internet, computer, it came from melanated brothers and sisters. It's out there now. It's no longer hidden. Many of us know the concept of the computer came from us. Because as we know, some of our righteous generals, warriors, I'm talking about the real ones now, that were really connected to that divine and could hear that voice. All these things that we're doing on computers, they did without. So just marinate on that for a minute. But like I said, this is our spirit on these gears here. And that's what our spirit does, this 24/7, just running. But it can break down if we're not paying attention to it. Now we're talking about a righteous spirit. So do whatever we can to keep it healthy so it can keep our gears running. Because again, like I said, that being you see right there walking, or running, whatever you want to call it, jogging, does this 24/7 for us. Just think about it. Our heart is beating 24/7. And then you got individuals out there just taking it for granted. When our heart could stop, the blood could stop flowing at any moment. And I also want to give a little side note. Our spine. I brought this up, and I've heard other teachers teach on this. Brother or sister, salute. Pay attention to your spine. That's another thing that's important to our body. So as I said on a podcast, you know what? I'll even put that in screen. The importance of paying attention to one's spine, because that's kind of like the modem of our body too. And if you're getting clapped in the back, and we know what clapped in the back is, it will rupture your spine. Maybe not right away, but you'll start having back pains and troubles down the road. So I ain't gonna get off into that, but I'll put that in the end screen. So that's another part of our body, and that ties into our psyche. Because where does the spine lead up to? To the stem of our brain. So marinate on that. All right, marinate on that. So yeah, it's just things we have to pay attention to keep ourselves healthy, mind, body, and soul. And forgive me for the noise if you hear any. Might hear some noise outside. But yeah, just a few pointers, a few things, one's perspectives. I don't think I know everything, just things I get, be thankful. If we get downloads from that great divine, you better pay attention to the signs. I love the rhyme. But yeah, but again, this is our spirit on these gears. And the moment that spirit stop, one gear is going to stop, and the next, and then the next. And what makes our gears stop running? Stress. Being oblivious to things and being distracted and caught up in drama and all mixed and mangled up in social media and in dark chat rooms and all this kind of shit that can harm our psyche. And what's the main reason we protect our psyche? Kind of like our money. We do. I don't give a damn about money, just giving an analogy, because I did a podcast about it's an energy thing, not a money thing. We treat our psyche like we do money. We watch what goes in, what goes out, and we got to stay on it. This is for me too, folks. I'm not telling everybody you should do this and you should. I'm talking about me too now, because we get to a place of be thankful. If you get to a place of awareness, don't take it for granted, because that's when things will be highlighted. Things we've always seen, but or should I say things that are always there. It's just that you begin to see them. When the gears begin to mesh. And I actually learned that concept from another brother, real talk, and other teachers and sisters too. It's wonderful. I love the like-minded brothers and sisters out there, younger or older, and family member, and I have something that my uncle sent me. And as I said a few minutes ago, how the concept of the computer and all that stuff stemmed from melanated brothers and sisters. And I have something my uncle Terry sent to me, and salute to my Uncle Terry, my mom, and my rest of my family. And I thought it was wonderful. And this is how you know that your family is kind of understanding. just be thankful for brothers and sisters or family that kind of understand what you say and what you stand for. It's nice to get a little feedback sometimes, but we don't take it for granted. We enjoy it and we share it. So with that being said, I want to share what my uncle sent me, and it's about how melanated brothers and sisters came up, and this is decades ago, came up with the concept of the doorbell phone. I think it's the doorbell phone with the camera. And this is back in like 1966, but I might be wrong. So listen to the date on it. So here we go. I just wanted brothers and sisters to hear this, and I'll be right back on. So here we go.
Notable black figures you've never heard of. In 1966, Marie Van Britten Brown and her husband Albert Brown invented a home security system that included television surveillance. The item also had microphones to communicate with the person at the door of the home and a button to contact the police. They filed for a patent in 1966, and it was approved in 1969. They hoped big companies or home manufacturers would be interested, but building them was too expensive. The patent has been cited on 38 patent applications over the years, meaning 38 inventors have made items similar to the Brown's initial invention.
See what I'm talking about? So that kind of back up what I've been saying. And I have to say, I've done some research, but I have to say, and I know other brothers and sisters experience this. Have you ever got a download? This is anybody that's not playing with this, with this divine walk. You ever got a download of something and you haven't even researched it, and you do research it and it end up being parallel with what you were thinking? That's a gift from that great divine. That's not, because it's something I've been taught by teachers and something I've learned through experiences. I don't go for coincidences anymore. I think everything happens for not just a reason, a divine reason, but as I said, and many of us say, we have to be in a righteous space. We have to be seeking to explore, seeking to learn things, seeking to know our history about melanated brothers and sisters. And guess what? You'll run right into it, as well as watching our family, taking care of ourselves, and, not trying to act like we're this intelligent person. No, we be intelligent, And again, it's more than just education is good. All those things are needed, scientific things, all that needed. But intelligence is just doing the right thing and being a righteous impact, starting with where we are. So generals, keep those gears meshing. As I said, my example on my banner here, that's our spirit running those gears. So, and think of that as that divine. It's running all the time, and that great divine knows our heart better than us. So it knows the human errors we're going to come into. So a lot of times that force will protect us, but we have to have a righteous heart. There's no way around it. You got to have somewhat of a righteous heart. You can't speak God, the real God now. You can't speak God and then have rotten, wrong intentions in your soul. How is that going to work? And this for me too now. So been there, done that. So I'm telling you, as I said before, there's going to be battles in life. So you might as well just get on board and be righteous and stand with our family the best way we can, even through the challenging times, because remember, we got to think of our health, mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel. And what I've been speaking on, the most important thing of all, our psyche, because that's what runs this whole shebang that we call a body. So this has been another edition of EBX Discussion, and thank the new subscribers that's been subscribing, and the current ones, and anyone that view, because when you get over those kinds of things, you just flourish and you just start loving what you do, and things come naturally. That's what we want. We want things to come naturally and not hurt no one and all that, because it'll be all for nothing. And we don't want things to, what my favorite word, crumble. So always study to maintain what we have, been through so much to get to keep this foundation strong that we're standing on. So again, H.I.L, heal, inspire, lead. So then those gears can begin to mesh together, and that's life, brothers and sisters, ourselves. Real talk. So stay strong, my generals. Salute.